The Galactic Stage. Humanity's debut. In the vast expanse of the Milky Way, countless civilizations had risen and fallen over millennia. The current galactic order, maintained by the Intergalactic Council of Sentient Species, had endured for over 10,000 years. Comprised of the most advanced races in the galaxy, the Council prided itself on its technological prowess and diplomatic finesse. It was against this backdrop that humanity made its entrance onto the galactic stage. Earth's first faster-than-light ship, the ESS Horizon, had been detected by Council sensors as it approached the fringes of settled space. The Council chambers buzzed with excitement and trepidation at the prospect of encountering a new spacefaring race. Captain Elena Rodriguez stood on the bridge of the horizon, her dark eyes scanning the alien starscape before her. She felt the weight of humanity's future on her shoulders as she prepared to make first contact. Her crew, handpicked from the best Earth had to offer, waited with bated breath for her orders. "Communications, hail the alien vessel on approach," Elena commanded, her voice steady despite the butterflies in her stomach. The alien ship, sleek and gleaming, dwarfed the horizon. Its hull seemed to shimmer with an iridescent energy field that Earth scientists could only dream of replicating. As the two ships drew closer, a transmission crackled through the horizon speakers. "Unknown vessel, this is Ambassador Zixlian of the Intergalactic Council. State your intentions and origin." Elena took a deep breath and responded, "This is Captain Elena Rodriguez of the Earth ship Horizon. We come in peace, seeking to establish diplomatic relations and exchange knowledge." There was a pause, and then Ambassador Zixlian's voice returned, tinged with surprise. "Earth. We have no record of your species in our databases. Please prepare for boarding. The Council will convene to assess your civilization's readiness for galactic integration." As the Horizon was escorted to the massive space station that served as the Council's headquarters, Elena and her crew marveled at the technological wonders surrounding them. Ships of various designs zipped past, some defying the laws of physics as humans understood them. The station itself was a marvel of engineering, a sprawling metropolis suspended in the void of space. Upon docking, Elena and a small delegation were led through gleaming corridors to the Council chambers. The room was a grand amphitheater, with representatives from dozens of alien species seated in tiered rows. At the center stood a holographic projection of the Milky Way, slowly rotating in all its stellar glory. Ambassador Zixlian, a tall, willowy being with iridescent skin and 4 arms, addressed the Council. "Esteemed members, I present to you Captain Elena Rodriguez of Earth, a newly discovered spacefaring civilization." The chamber erupted in a cacophony of alien languages, translated in real time for Elena and her team. Questions flew from all directions. How long have they been capable of faster-than-light travel? What is the extent of their territory? Do they possess quantum entanglement communication? Elena raised her hands, calling for silence. "Respected members of the Council, we are honored to stand before you. Humanity has only recently achieved faster-than-light travel, and this is our first venture beyond our solar system. We come seeking knowledge and friendship." A ripple of murmurs spread through the chamber. Many of the alien representatives exchanged glances that Elena interpreted as a mix of amusement and condescension. One of the Council members, a bulbous creature with multiple eye stalks, spoke up. "And what, pray tell, can your fledgling civilization offer to the galactic community? What advancements have you made that could possibly interest us?" Elena straightened her back, her voice filled with pride. "We may be young in terms of interstellar travel, but humanity has made great strides in various fields. Our medical sciences have eradicated numerous diseases and extended our lifespans significantly. Our computer technologies are advancing at an exponential rate, with artificial intelligence on the brink of true sentience." She paused, gauging the room's reaction. "But perhaps our greatest strength lies not in any single technology, but in our adaptability, our creativity, and our indomitable spirit. We have overcome countless challenges on our world, and we are eager to face the challenges of the galaxy alongside you all." The council chamber fell silent for a moment before erupting into laughter. Ambassador Zixlian raised a hand to quiet the room, a smile playing on their alien features. Captain Rodriguez, your enthusiasm is admirable, but the galaxy is a far more complex and dangerous place than you can imagine. The technologies you speak of are child's play compared to what the council races have achieved. Another council member, a being composed of swirling gases contained within a transparent shell, chimed in. Indeed, our youngest spacefaring members have been traversing the stars for millennia. What protection can you offer against the threats that lurk in the dark spaces between worlds? Elena's second-in-command, Dr. Aiden Chen, stepped forward. If I may, Captain. At Elena's nod, he addressed the council. While it's true that our interstellar capabilities are in their infancy, we have developed formidable defensive technologies. Our projectile weapons, for instance, have proven highly effective in our simulations against various types of energy shielding. This statement was met with even more uproarious laughter. Ambassador Zixlian wiped a tear-like substance from one of their eyes. Projectile weapons. My dear humans, we abandoned such primitive tools eons ago. Energy weapons and gravitational manipulators are the standards of modern combat. Elena felt her cheeks flush with a mix of embarrassment and anger. She was about to retort when alarms began blaring throughout the station. The holographic display of the galaxy was replaced by a tactical readout showing multiple unidentified ships approaching at high speed. A frantic voice came over the station's communication system. Council members, we're under attack. Pirates have somehow breached our outer defenses and are approaching the station. Our energy shields are failing against their weapons. Panic spread through the council chamber as representatives scrambled to evacuate. Ambassador Zixlian turned to Elena, their earlier amusement replaced by genuine fear. Captain Rodriguez, I apologize, but you must leave immediately. We cannot guarantee your safety. Elena exchanged a look with Dr. Chen and the rest of her team. In that moment, a silent agreement passed between them. Ambassador, Elena said firmly, we're not going anywhere. Let us help. Our ship may be small, but we're armed and ready to fight. Zixlian hesitated for a moment before nodding. Very well. But what can your primitive weapons do against pirates wielding technology far beyond your understanding? Elena allowed herself a small smile. You'd be surprised, Ambassador. Humanity has a long history of overcoming impossible odds. Dr. Chen, contact the Horizon. Tell them to prepare for combat and await my orders. As they rushed towards the station's control center, Elena's mind raced with possibilities. This was humanity's chance to prove their worth to the galactic community. The stakes couldn't be higher. The safety of the Council, the future of Earth's relations with alien civilizations, and the lives of countless beings all hung in the balance. The control center was a hive of activity, with alien technicians working frantically to repel the pirate assault. Holographic displays showed the pirate ships easily evading the station's energy weapons and tearing through its shields. Elena assessed the situation quickly. Ambassador, what's the composition of the pirate fleet? Zixlian consulted a nearby console. 5 ships, heavily armed and shielded. Our weapons are barely scratching them. And what about their shields? Are they energy-based? The ambassador nodded. Yes, but they're fluctuating at a frequency our weapons can't penetrate. Elena's eyes lit up. That's our opening. Dr. Chen, tell the Horizon to move into position. We're going to show the Council what primitive human ingenuity can do. As the Horizon maneuvered into attack position, Elena explained her plan to the bewildered Council members. Our railguns fire projectiles at a significant fraction of light speed. The kinetic energy alone should be enough to overwhelm their shields, regardless of the frequency. Ambassador Zixlian looked skeptical. But the targeting systems required for such accuracy at these distances are precisely what humans excel at. Elena finished. We've been perfecting the art of long-distance marksmanship for centuries. The Council watched in tense silence as the Horizon lined up its shot. The first pirate ship came into range, its energy weapons charging for another assault on the station. "Fire," Elena commanded. A streak of light erupted from the horizon, so fast it was barely visible to the naked eye. It struck the pirate ship dead center, punching through its shields as if they weren't there. The projectile tore through the ship's hull, causing a cascade of secondary explosions that ripped the vessel apart. The control center erupted in cheers as the remaining pirate ships, caught off guard by this unexpected threat, scrambled to regroup. But the horizon was already lining up its next shot. In a matter of minutes, the battle was over. The pirate fleet lay in ruins, reduced to drifting debris by the horizon's pinpoint attacks. The council station, while damaged, had been saved from certain destruction. As the dust settled, Elena found herself once again standing before the council, this time to thunderous applause. Ambassador Zixlian approached her, their earlier condescension replaced by genuine respect. "Captain Rodriguez," they began, their voice carrying throughout the chamber. "On behalf of the Intergalactic Council, I extend our deepest gratitude. Your quick thinking and impressive technology have saved countless lives today." Elena nodded graciously. "We're glad we could help, Ambassador. This is what humanity does best, adapting to new challenges and finding creative solutions." The bulbous council member who had earlier dismissed humanity now spoke up. "Indeed, we may have been too hasty in our judgment. Perhaps there is much we can learn from your species after all." As murmurs of agreement spread through the chamber, Elena felt a swell of pride. This was just the beginning, she knew. Humanity had taken its first steps onto the galactic stage, and they had made quite an entrance. "We look forward to working alongside you all," Elena said, her voice carrying the weight of Earth's future. "Together, we can face whatever challenges the universe has in store for us." As the Council began discussing the official induction of Earth into the galactic community, Elena couldn't help but smile. The journey ahead would be long and fraught with dangers, but humanity was ready. They had proven their worth among the stars, and this was only the beginning of their cosmic adventure. Underestimated ingenuity. The pirate threat. In the months following humanity's dramatic entrance onto the galactic stage, Earth had become a hub of interstellar activity. The Intergalactic Council, impressed by the ingenuity displayed during the pirate attack, had fast-tracked Earth's integration into the galactic community. Alien diplomats and scientists flocked to the blue planet, eager to study this young but promising civilization. Captain Elena Rodriguez, now hailed as a hero across known space, found herself thrust into the role of Earth's primary liaison with the galactic community. As she stood in the newly constructed Galactic Embassy in New York, she couldn't help but marvel at how quickly things had changed. "Captain Rodriguez," a familiar voice called out. Elena turned to see Ambassador Zixlian approaching, their iridescent skin shimmering under the embassy's lights. "The Council has an urgent matter to discuss with you." Elena nodded, following the ambassador to a secure conference room. Inside, holographic projections of various council members flickered to life around the table. The atmosphere was tense, a far cry from the celebratory mood of recent weeks. "Captain," began Councillor Vexelia, a being composed of crystalline structures that chimed softly as they spoke, "we face a grave threat. The pirate attack on our headquarters was not an isolated incident. We've received reports of similar attacks across 3 sectors, all employing the same shield-piercing technology that nearly overwhelmed us." Elena's brow furrowed. "You think they've replicated our railgun technology?" "It appears so," Zixlian confirmed. "And they're using it to devastating effect. Our standard defenses are proving ineffective." "We need your help, Captain," another counselor, a gaseous entity named Jor, interjected. "Your experience with this technology and your unique human perspective may be our best hope for countering this threat." Elena's mind raced with the implications. Earth's technology, barely considered noteworthy months ago, was now being wielded as a superweapon by galactic pirates. The irony wasn't lost on her. "I'll do whatever I can to help," Elena said firmly. But I'll need resources and a ship capable of taking the fight to these pirates." The counselors exchanged glances before Zixlian spoke up. "The Council has anticipated this. We've commissioned the construction of a new vessel, incorporating the best of Council technology with human design principles. It will be yours to command on this mission, Captain." Elena's eyes widened. "I'm honored, but surely there are more experienced commanders in the Council fleet." "Perhaps," Vexalia chimed in, "but none with your unique insight into both human and Council technologies. Besides, you've proven your ability to think creatively in crisis situations. That may be our greatest asset in this fight." As the meeting concluded, Elena's mind was already formulating plans. She'd need a crew, one that combined the best of human intuition with alien expertise, and she'd need to understand exactly what they were up against. The next few weeks were a whirlwind of activity. Elena found herself overseeing the final stages of her new ship's construction, a sleek vessel that married the elegant designs of Council ships with the robust practicality of human engineering. They named it the ESS Frontier, a symbol of humanity's new place in the galaxy. As Elena walked through the ship's corridors, she marveled at the seamless integration of technologies. Council energy weapons sat alongside enhanced versions of human railguns. The bridge combined holographic interfaces with tactile controls that humans found intuitive. Her new crew was equally diverse. Dr. Aiden Chen, her trusted second-in-command from the Horizon, served as her XO. Zara Kavoth, a four-armed Selnorian weapons expert, manned the tactical station. The ship's eye, a joint project between human and Council programmers, was embodied by a holographic avatar that called itself Nova. As the Frontier prepared for its maiden voyage, Elena received a priority transmission from Counselor Vexalia. "Captain, we've detected a significant pirate presence in the Omega Centauri cluster. We believe this may be their primary base of operations. Your mission is to investigate, gather intelligence, and, if possible, neutralize the threat." Elena acknowledged the order, a mixture of excitement and apprehension coursing through her. This was it, humanity's first major undertaking as part of the galactic community. The journey to Omega Centauri was uneventful, giving Elena time to strategize with her crew. As they dropped out of FTL on the outskirts of the cluster, the ship's sensors came alive with activity. "Captain, Nova's holographic form materialized on the bridge. I'm detecting multiple ships with energy signatures matching the pirate fleet. They appear to be clustered around a small planetoid in the system's outer reaches." Elena leaned forward in her command chair. "Can we get a visual?" The main view screen flickered to life, showing a barren, rocky world surrounded by a swarm of ships. What caught Elena's attention, however, was a massive structure on the planetoid's surface, a sprawling complex that seemed to be part shipyard, part fortress. "That must be their base," Dr. Chen mused. "But how do we approach without being detected? Our stealth systems won't hold up to that much scrutiny." Elena studied the display, her mind racing. Then, a spark of an idea. "Nova, what's the composition of that planetoid's atmosphere?" The AI processed for a moment. "Primarily methane and ammonia, Captain. Highly combustible." A slow smile spread across Elena's face. "Perfect. Here's what we're going to do." Hours later, the Frontier drifted silently through the planetoid's upper atmosphere, its hull coated in a specially synthesized compound that masked its energy signature. To any observer, it would appear to be nothing more than a large meteor. As they neared the pirate base, Elena gave the order. "Zara, prepare to fire the modified railgun. Target the atmosphere just above the base." Zara's four hands danced across her console. "Ready, Captain." "Fire." A single projectile shot from the Frontier, igniting as it pierced the atmosphere. The result was spectacular. A massive fireball erupted over the pirate base, the combustible gases in the atmosphere turning into a raging inferno. Alarms blared across the pirate fleet as they scrambled to respond to this unexpected attack. In the chaos, the Frontier revealed itself, weapons blazing. "Nova, initiate cyber warfare protocols," Elena commanded. "Let's see if we can turn some of their ships against each other." The AI complied, sending out complex algorithms designed to hijack the pirates' systems. Several enemy ships suddenly turned, firing on their comrades in confusion. The battle was fierce but short-lived. Caught off guard and fighting on multiple fronts, the pirate fleet soon found itself outmatched. As the last enemy ship fell silent, Elena ordered the Frontier to dock with the now damaged pirate base. Leading a team of mixed human and alien marines, Elena breached the base's defenses. They fought their way through winding corridors, facing desperate resistance from the remaining pirates. Finally, they reached what appeared to be the command center. Inside, they found not the hardened criminals they expected, but a group of terrified-looking aliens huddled around a central console. One of them, a tall, spindly being with pale blue skin, stepped forward. "Please," it said, its translator struggling to keep up with its rapid speech. "We surrender. We'll tell you everything." Elena lowered her weapon, confusion evident on her face. "You're not the pirate leaders." The alien shook its head vigorously. "No, we're scientists, forced to work for the True Path Collective. They threatened our families, our worlds." "The True Path Collective?" Dr. Chen asked, joining Elena. "An extremist group," the alien scientist explained. "They believe that younger races like yours shouldn't be allowed to join the galactic community, that it upsets the natural order." Elena's mind reeled at the implications. This wasn't just about piracy or stolen technology. This was an ideological war, with humanity caught in the crossfire. As her team secured the base and began sifting through its databases, Elena contacted the Council. Ambassador Zixlian's hologram appeared before her, their expression grave as Elena relayed what they'd discovered. "This is troubling news, Captain," Zixlian said. "The True Path Collective has been a fringe movement for centuries, but never before have they acted so boldly. Your discovery may have uncovered a conspiracy that reaches into the highest levels of galactic society." Elena nodded, the weight of the situation settling on her shoulders. "What are our next steps, Ambassador?" "For now, secure that base and the scientists. We'll send reinforcements to hold the system. But be on your guard, Captain. I fear this battle is far from over." As the transmission ended, Elena gazed out at the stars visible through the base's viewports. What had started as a simple pirate hunting mission had turned into something far more complex. Humanity had proven itself once again, but at what cost? And what challenges lay ahead in this vast, often hostile galaxy? With a deep breath, Elena turned back to her crew. There was work to be done, mysteries to unravel, and a galaxy to protect. Humanity's greatest test was just beginning, and Elena was determined to see it through. As the Frontier prepared to depart Omega Centauri, carrying valuable intelligence and rescued scientists, Elena couldn't shake the feeling that this was only the beginning of a much larger conflict. The True Path Collective's ideology posed a threat not just to humanity, but to the very fabric of galactic society. But as she watched her human and alien crew working seamlessly together, Elena felt a glimmer of hope. If they could overcome their differences and unite against this threat, perhaps there was hope for the galaxy after all. With renewed determination, Elena gave the order to set course for Earth. They had a report to deliver, plans to make, and a galaxy to defend. The next chapter of humanity's cosmic adventure was about to unfold, and Elena Rodriguez was ready to face whatever challenges lay ahead. Proving ground. The battle for Zeta-9. The revelation of the True Path Collective's existence sent shockwaves through the galactic community. As the ESS Frontier raced back to Earth, carrying vital intelligence and rescued scientists, the Intergalactic Council convened an emergency session to address this new threat. Captain Elena Rodriguez stood before the council, her hologram projected into the grand chamber. She had just finished delivering her report, and a tense silence hung in the air. "This is unprecedented," Councillor Vexalia chimed, their crystalline form vibrating with concern. A conspiracy of this magnitude, it could destabilize centuries of peace. Ambassador Zixlian nodded gravely. Indeed, and it seems our new human allies have become their primary target. Elena stepped forward, her voice firm. With all due respect, Council members, this isn't just about humanity. The True Path Collective threatens everything the Council stands for. Cooperation, progress, the sharing of knowledge across species. We need to act, and act quickly. The gaseous entity, Councillor Jor, swirled in agitation. But how? We don't know the full extent of their influence. For all we know, they could have agents within this very chamber. A murmur of unease rippled through the council. Elena saw an opportunity and seized it. Then let us be the vanguard, she proposed. Earth is still an unknown quantity to many in the galaxy. The True Path Collective has already shown their hand against us. We can use that to our advantage. Intrigued faces turned towards her. Elena continued, her strategy unfolding as she spoke. We'll form a task force, combining the best of human ingenuity with council technology and expertise. We'll hunt down the True Path Collective, root out their bases, and expose their collaborators. And we'll do it in a way they won't expect, because they still underestimate us. There was a moment of silence as the council digested her words. Then, slowly, nods of agreement began to spread through the chamber. Very well, Captain Rodriguez, Ambassador Zixlian said, a hint of admiration in their voice. We'll put it to a vote, but I believe the council will agree. You'll have the resources you need. But be warned, the path ahead will be dangerous. Elena allowed herself a small smile. Danger is something humanity has faced since we first looked up at the stars. Ambassador, we're ready. The next few weeks were a flurry of activity. The ESS Frontier underwent rapid upgrades, incorporating the latest advancements from both human and council scientists. Elena's crew expanded, welcoming specialists from a dozen different species, each bringing unique skills and perspectives to the mission. As they prepared to embark on their first official mission, as the Council's Anti-True Path Task Force, Elena received an urgent transmission. A small mining colony in the Zeta-9 system, on the fringes of Council space, had gone dark. Intelligence suggested it might be the work of the True Path Collective. This could be a trap, Dr. Chen warned as they plotted their course. Elena nodded, her expression grim. Almost certainly. But it's also an opportunity. If we can catch them in the act, we might be able to unravel more of their network. As the Frontier dropped out of FTL on the edge of the Zeta-9 system, tension filled the bridge. Long-range sensors painted a grim picture. The mining colony's defenses were down, and several unidentified ships lurked in orbit. Nova. Elena addressed the ship's eye. What can you tell us about those ships? The eye's hologram flickered to life. Analysis suggests a mix of repurposed civilian vessels and older military craft. However, energy readings indicate significant modifications. They appear to be armed with both Council energy weapons and human-inspired railguns. Elena's mind raced, formulating a plan. Zara, ready our new phasic shields. Dr. Chen, prepare the EM pulse generators. We're going in hot. The Frontier surged forward, its advanced stealth systems allowing it to close half the distance before the enemy ships detected their presence. When they did, chaos erupted. Energy beams and railgun projectiles filled space, most splashing harmlessly against the Frontier's phasic shields, a new technology that shifted the ship partially out of phase with normal spacetime, allowing it to dodge incoming fire. Now, Dr. Chen, Elena commanded. A wave of electromagnetic energy burst from the Frontier, washing over the enemy fleet. Ships began to drift, their systems temporarily overloaded. Zara, target their weapons and engines. Disable, don't destroy. We need prisoners. The Tselnorian tactical officer's 4 arms danced across her console, precise shots from the Frontier's weapons picking apart the defenseless ships. As the last enemy vessel fell silent, Elena turned to her communications officer. "Hail the colony. Let's see what we're dealing with down there." The main view screen flickered to life, revealing a scene of chaos. Fires raged in the background as a disheveled alien, a Volcrin Elena recognized, appeared. "This is Administrator Krell of Zeta-9 Mining Outpost." The alien gasped, green blood seeping from a wound on its carapace. "Thank the stars you've arrived. They're everywhere, killing indiscriminately. Please, you must." The transmission cut off abruptly. Elena turned to her crew, her expression resolute. "Prepare for ground assault. We're going in." Minutes later, Elena led a mixed team of human and alien specialists through the burning corridors of the mining outpost. The scene was grim. Bodies of various species littered the ground, victims of both energy weapons and more primitive projectiles. "Captain," Nova's voice came through their comms, "I'm detecting a large concentration of life signs in the main processing chamber. It appears to be a mix of colonists and hostiles." "Understood. Team, form up. We're going to end this." As they approached the processing chamber, Elena signaled for silence. She could hear voices ahead, angry shouts in multiple languages, punctuated by the sound of energy weapons charging. With a nod to her team, Elena activated a device on her wrist. A shimmering field enveloped her, the latest in personal shield technology. Then, taking a deep breath, she burst into the chamber. The scene inside was chaotic. A group of armed individuals, the True Path forces, Elena assumed, had corralled the surviving colonists into a corner. At the center stood a tall, imposing figure with metallic skin and glowing red eyes. "Ah, the human arrives," the figure sneered, its voice a harsh metallic grate. "Come to play hero." Elena's eyes narrowed. "And you are?" "I am Zarkath, executor of the True Path. And you, human, are an abomination. Your kind should never have been allowed to leave your pitiful world." As he spoke, Elena's team quietly took up positions around the room. She needed to keep him talking. "Why?" she asked, genuine curiosity in her voice. "What threat do we pose to you?" Zarkath's eyes flared brighter. "You upset the balance. For millennia, we have guided the development of younger races, ensuring they don't advance too quickly. But you humans, your chaos incarnate, your rapid progress, your unpredictable nature, you'll destroy everything we've built." Elena allowed herself a small smile. "You're right about one thing. We are unpredictable." With that, she gave the signal. Her team sprang into action, precision shots taking down the True Path forces before they could react. Zarkath roared in anger, raising a massive energy weapon. But Elena was faster. A small device shot from her wrist, attaching itself to Zarkath's chest. Arcs of electricity coursed through his metallic body, and he fell to the ground, twitching. As her team secured the prisoners and tended to the colonists, Elena stood over the fallen executor. "You underestimated us, Zarkath. It won't be the last time your collective makes that mistake." In the aftermath of the battle, as council ships arrived to secure Zeta-9 and evacuate the colonists, Elena found herself standing in the outpost observation dome. The stars stretched out before her, a testament to the vastness of the challenge they faced. Dr. Chen joined her, his face weary but triumphant. "We did it, Captain. We saved the colony and captured a high-ranking True Path leader." Elena nodded, her expression thoughtful. "We did. But this is just the beginning, Aiden. The True Path Collective is vast, and they're not going to give up easily." "No," Chen agreed, "but neither are we. What you did today, Elena, it wasn't just about saving this colony. You showed the galaxy what humanity is capable of. Not just our technology or our tactics, but our spirit." Elena turned to her friend, a small smile on her face. "Our spirit." Chen nodded enthusiastically. "Think about it. We faced an enemy that hates us for our very nature, our adaptability, our drive to progress. And what did we do? We used those very traits to defeat them. We combined council tech with human ingenuity in ways they never expected. We formed a team of diverse species and worked together seamlessly. We embody everything the true path fears, and we prove that their fears are unfounded. As Chen's words sank in, Alina felt a renewed sense of purpose. He was right. This wasn't just about protecting Earth or proving humanity's worth. This was about defending a vision of the galaxy, one where species could grow, change, and work together without fear. "You're right, Aiden," she said, her voice filled with determination. "And we're going to keep proving them wrong, every step of the way." As they turned to leave the observation dome, a transmission came through. It was Ambassador Zixelian. "Captain Rodriguez," the ambassador's voice was filled with genuine admiration. "The Council has received your report. Your actions on Zeta-9 were exemplary. You've not only saved countless lives, but have given us our first real advantage against the True Path Collective." Alina straightened, feeling the weight of the moment. "Thank you, Ambassador. But our work is far from over." "Indeed," Zixelian agreed, "which is why the Council has made a decision. We're expanding your mandate, Captain. You're to take the lead in our operations against the True Path Collective. Your task force will be the tip of the spear in this fight." Alina's eyes widened. This was unprecedented, a human leading a major council initiative. "I'm honored, Ambassador. We won't let you down." As the transmission ended, Alina turned back to the stars. The battle for Zeta-9 was won, but the war was just beginning. The True Path Collective was vast, its tendrils reaching into the highest echelons of galactic society. But for the first time since this conflict began, Alina felt a genuine sense of hope. Humanity had proven itself once again, not through overwhelming force, but through ingenuity, adaptability, and the ability to bring out the best in their allies. As the Frontier prepared to depart Zeta-9, Alina knew that the greatest challenges still lay ahead. But she was ready to face them, with her diverse crew at her side, and the spirit of humanity driving them forward. The stars beckoned, full of both danger and promise, and Alina Rodriguez, once a simple starship captain, now the leader of the galaxy's best hope against the True Path Collective, was ready to answer their call. Alliances forged in fire, the Crixian invasion. The months following the Battle of Zeta-9 were a whirlwind of activity for Captain Alina Rodriguez and her crew. The ESS Frontier became the spearhead of the Council's efforts against the True Path Collective, striking at hidden bases and exposing collaborators across the galaxy. With each victory, they gathered more intelligence, slowly unraveling the vast conspiracy that threatened galactic peace. But the True Path was not idle. As Alina and her team made progress, the Collective's attacks grew more frequent and more daring. It was clear they were building towards something big, but despite their best efforts, Alina and the Council's intelligence networks couldn't pinpoint their ultimate goal. It was during a rare moment of respite that the next crisis struck. Alina was in her quarters aboard the Frontier, reviewing reports, when Nova's hologram materialized, its expression uncharacteristically grave. "Captain, we're receiving an urgent transmission from the Council. Priority Alpha." Alina's heart sank. Priority Alpha meant only one thing: a threat to the entire galactic community. "Put it through, Nova." The hologram of Ambassador Zixelian appeared, their usually composed features marred with worry. "Captain Rodriguez, we have a situation of utmost urgency. The Crixians have launched a full-scale invasion of Council space." Alina's mind reeled. The Crixians were a notoriously isolationist species from a distant arm of the galaxy. Known for their advanced biotechnology and hive-mind social structure, they had always kept to themselves. An unprovoked attack was unprecedented. "How bad is it, Ambassador?" Zixelian's image flickered as they brought up a galactic map. Red indicators spread across multiple sectors like a virulent infection. They hit simultaneously across 17 systems, Our outer defenses are in shambles. We were not prepared for this scale of conflict, Alina. The Council hasn't faced a war of this magnitude in millennia. Alina's tactical mind was already racing. What about the True Path Collective? Could they be behind this somehow? The ambassadors shook their head. We don't know. But right now, we need to focus on the immediate threat. The Council is mobilizing every available ship, but it won't be enough. We need your help, Captain. Your unorthodox tactics and your crew's diverse expertise might be our best hope. Alina nodded grimly. We're on our way, Ambassador. Send us the coordinates for the nearest conflict zone. As the transmission ended, Alina called her senior staff to the bridge. As they assembled, she laid out the situation. Dr. Chen's usual optimism was subdued. This is bad, Alina. Really bad. We're talking about a war on a scale humanity has never experienced. Zara, the Selnorian tactical officer, chittered in agreement. The Crixians are formidable opponents. Their hive mind allows for unprecedented coordination in battle. Alina looked at each of her crew members in turn, seeing the mix of fear and determination in their eyes. I know the odds look impossible, but that's never stopped us before. We're going to do what humanity does best: adapt, innovate, and find a way to win. As the frontier raced towards the front lines, Alina and her team pored over what little intelligence they had on the Crixians. Their bioships were unlike anything in the Council's arsenal, capable of regenerating damage and adapting to enemy tactics in real time. There has to be a weakness, Alina muttered, staring at the holographic projections of Crixian ships. Every system has a flaw. We just need to find it. It was Nova, the ship's eye, who provided the first breakthrough. Captain, I've been analyzing the Crixian communication patterns. Their hive mind seems to operate on a quantum entanglement principle, but there are fluctuations in the signal strength. Alina's eyes lit up. Can we exploit that somehow? Potentially, Nova replied. If we could disrupt their quantum communication, it might break their coordination. Dr. Chen jumped in, excitement building in his voice. What if we combined our quantum disruptors with the phasic shield technology? Create a field that could temporarily cut off sections of their fleet from the hive mind. Ideas began to flow, the diverse crew building on each other's suggestions. By the time they dropped out of FTL, at the edge of the Proxima Centauri system, they had the beginnings of a plan. The scene that greeted them was one of chaos and destruction. The Crixian bioships, massive organisms that seemed more alive than constructed, swarmed around the beleaguered Council defense fleet. As they watched, a Terran cruiser was enveloped by tendrils from a Crixian ship, its hull dissolving under a stream of corrosive enzymes. All hands, battle stations, Alina commanded, her voice steady despite the dire situation. Zara, target the lead Crixian ship with the quantum disruptor. Dr. Chen, ready the phasic field generators. Let's see if our theory holds up. The Frontier dove into the fray, its advanced stealth systems allowing it to close distance before the Crixians detected them. At Alina's command, they fired the modified quantum disruptor. For a moment, nothing seemed to happen. Then, abruptly, a section of the Crixian fleet faltered. Ships that had been moving with eerie synchronicity suddenly seemed confused, their movements erratic. It's working, Dr. Chen exclaimed. We've cut them off from the hive mind. Alina allowed herself a small smile. Good. Now let's press our advantage. All weapons, fire at will. Target their organic weak points. The battle that ensued was unlike anything the galaxy had seen before. The Frontier danced through the Crixian fleet, its phasic shields allowing it to phase partially out of reality to avoid attacks, while its weapons struck with pinpoint accuracy. As the isolated Crixian ships fell into disarray, the Council fleet rallied. Alina's tactics spread quickly, with other ships adopting the Frontier's quantum disruption strategy. But the Crixians were not so easily defeated. As the battle raged on, Alina noticed the enemy adapting, their ships beginning to develop countermeasures to the quantum disruption. They're learning, she muttered. We need to end this quickly. An idea struck her, bold and potentially reckless, but with the potential to turn the tide decisively. Nova, analyze the Crixian flagship. Find me a way in. The AI's hologram flickered as it processed the request. Captain, there's a possible entry point near what appears to be their central nervous system. But the odds of successfully boarding. Never tell me the odds. Elena cut in, a glint of determination in her eye. Prep a strike team. We're going to hit them where it hurts. The next few minutes were a blur of activity as Elena led a small team in boarding the Crixian flagship. Using personal phasic shields, they phased through the organic hull, materializing inside a nightmarish landscape of pulsing flesh and bioluminescent corridors. As they fought their way towards the ship's core, Elena marveled at the alien beauty of it all. Despite the circumstances, she couldn't help but feel a sense of wonder at the incredible diversity of life in the galaxy. Finally, they'd reached the central chamber. A massive, pulsating brain-like structure dominated the room, tendrils of light stretching out in all directions. This must be their local hive-mind nexus, Dr. Chen breathed, his scientific curiosity momentarily overriding his fear. Elena nodded, her mind racing. And our ticket to ending this invasion. Plant the quantum disruptors. We're going to overload their entire network. As her team worked, Elena felt a strange presence brush against her mind. The Crixian hive mind, she realized, was attempting to communicate. Images and emotions flooded her consciousness. She saw the Crixian homeworld, a paradise of interconnected organisms. She felt their fear, not of the Council, but of something else. Something that had driven them to this desperate invasion. With a gasp, Elena pulled back from the connection. Wait, she called to her team. There's more going on here than we realized. Just then, alarms blared throughout the ship. Nova's voice came through their comms, urgent and confused. Captain, you need to see this. New ships have entered the system. They're attacking both us and the Crixians. Elena's blood ran cold. Somehow, she knew what she would see before they even reached the observation deck. Massive black ships, unlike anything she had ever seen, were tearing through both Council and Crixian forces with terrifying ease, and at their center, a ship that dwarfed all others, its hull adorned with a familiar symbol, the mark of the True Path Collective. It was a trap. Elena breathed, the realization hitting her like a physical blow. The Crixian invasion, all of it. The True Path engineered this whole conflict. As if in response to her words, a transmission cut across all frequencies. A familiar metallic voice filled the air. Zarkath, the True Path executor they had captured on Zeta 9. Foolish children of the galaxy, the voice grated. You have played your parts well. While you exhausted yourselves fighting each other, we prepared. Now, witness the dawn of a new era, one of order, of control, free from the chaos of unchecked progress. Elena's mind raced. They were outgunned, caught between two hostile forces. But as she looked at her diverse crew, humans, aliens, and AI, working in perfect harmony, she felt a surge of defiance. Nova, send a message to both the Council fleet and the Crixians. Tell them we have a common enemy now, and then open a channel to Zarkath. As the AI complied, Elena straightened her uniform and faced the view screen. Zarkath's metallic visage appeared, smug triumph evident in his glowing eyes. Ah, the human, he sneered. Come to surrender. Elena met his gaze unflinchingly. No, Zarkath. I've come to make you an offer. You say you want to end chaos, to bring order. Look around you. Look at what your actions have wrought. She gestured to the battlefield, where Council, Crixian, and True Path ships clashed in a maelstrom of destruction. This is chaos. This is what happens when you try to control the uncontrollable. But it doesn't have to be this way. Zarkath's expression flickered, a hint of uncertainty crossing his features. What are you proposing, human? Elena took a deep breath. This was the moment that would define not just the battle, but potentially the future of the galaxy. I'm proposing we talk. All of us. The Council, the Crixians, even the True Path. We've all made mistakes, we've all acted out of fear. But right now, we have a choice. We can continue this senseless destruction, or we can do something truly revolutionary. We can listen to each other. There was a long moment of silence. Alina could feel the weight of countless lives hanging in the balance. Then, slowly, the weapons fire began to die down. "You are not what I expected, human," Zarkath said finally, his voice tinged with something that might have been respect. Alina allowed herself a small smile. "That's kind of our specialty." As the various factions began to stand down, Alina knew that the real challenge was just beginning. Centuries of mistrust and fear wouldn't be overcome in a day. But as she looked out at the stars, she felt a glimmer of hope. Humanity had faced its greatest test yet, and they had passed not through superior firepower or advanced technology, but through their most fundamental qualities: adaptability, empathy, and the ability to find common ground in the face of overwhelming odds. The galaxy was changing, and humanity, it seemed, would be at the forefront of that change. Ascension, humanity's place among the stars. The days following the dramatic confrontation in the Proxima Centauri system were tense, filled with cautious negotiations and uneasy truces. Captain Alina Rodriguez found herself at the center of it all, shuttling between representatives of the Council, the Crixians, and even the True Path Collective. The Grand Council chamber aboard the massive Council diplomatic vessel hummed with nervous energy. Alina stood at the center, flanked by Ambassador Zixlian, and, surprisingly, Zarkath himself. The Crixian emissary, a being of shifting bioluminescent patterns, hovered nearby. "This is unprecedented," Councillor Vexalia chimed, their crystalline form vibrating with a mix of excitement and apprehension. "Never before have we attempted negotiations on this scale, with stakes this high." Elena nodded, her expression resolute. "The stakes are precisely why we must succeed. The alternative is the continuation of a war that could tear the galaxy apart." As the talks began, it quickly became clear that centuries of mistrust and ideological differences wouldn't be easily overcome. The Crixians, speaking through their hive mind representative, expressed deep-seated fears about cultural assimilation and the loss of their unique way of life. The True Path Collective, represented by Zarkath, clung to their belief that unfettered technological progress and cultural exchange would lead to chaos and the downfall of established galactic order. And the Council, for all its claims of enlightenment, struggled to see beyond its own biases and preconceptions. As the negotiations threatened to break down multiple times, Alina found herself playing the role of mediator, drawing on all her diplomatic skills and her uniquely human perspective. "Look," she said during a particularly heated exchange, "I understand that we all come from different backgrounds, with different values and fears. But isn't that diversity exactly what makes this galaxy so extraordinary?" She turned to the Crixian emissary. "Your hive mind allows for a level of unity and cooperation that individualistic species can only dream of. That's not something to be feared or suppressed, but a strength to be celebrated and learned from." To Zarkath, she said, "And yes, progress can be scary. The unknown is always frightening. But stagnation, enforced order, that's not the answer. It's through challenge, through the exchange of ideas, that we all grow." Finally, she addressed the Council. "And we, the younger races, we don't want to destroy what you've built. We want to contribute to it, to add our voices and ideas to this grand tapestry of galactic civilization." As Elena spoke, she could see the impact of her words. The Crixian emissary's bioluminescent patterns shifted to softer, more harmonious rhythms. Zarkath's metallic features, usually set in a scowl, relaxed ever so slightly. And among the Council members, thoughtful murmurs began to spread. It was Ambassador Zixlian who broke the silence. Captain Rodriguez speaks wisdom beyond her years. Perhaps it is time we reconsidered our approach to galactic governance. Over the next several days, a new framework for galactic cooperation began to take shape. The Crixians would be invited to join the Council, bringing their unique perspective and biotechnology expertise. The True Path Collective, while still skeptical, agreed to a gradual integration program for developing species rather than total isolation. And at the heart of it all was a new initiative, proposed by Elena herself, the Galactic Cultural Exchange Program. This ambitious project would facilitate the sharing of knowledge, technology, and culture between all sapient species, promoting understanding and cooperation. As the final documents were being prepared, Elena found a quiet moment alone with Dr. Chen on an observation deck overlooking the vast starfield. "You did it, Elena," Chen said, his voice filled with awe. "You've changed the course of galactic history." Elena shook her head, a small smile on her lips. "We did it, Aiden. All of us. Human, alien, AI. We proved that we're stronger together than apart." Chen nodded, then hesitated before speaking again. "There's something else. The Council, they've made a decision about Earth." Elena's heart skipped a beat. What kind of decision? "They want to accelerate Earth's integration into the galactic community. Full membership, Elena. We're being invited to take our place among the stars." The implications of this news were staggering. Earth, a planet that had only achieved faster-than-light travel a short time ago, was being offered a seat at the table of the most advanced civilizations in the galaxy. Before Elena could fully process this, another figure joined them on the observation deck. It was Zarkath, the True Path leader who had been their enemy such a short time ago. "Captain Rodriguez," he said, his metallic voice softer than she had ever heard it. I owe you an apology." Elena raised an eyebrow, surprised. "Oh." Zarkath's glowing eyes dimmed slightly in what Elena had come to recognize as an expression of humility. "I was wrong about your species. About many things. I feared change, feared the unknown. But you've shown me that adaptation, flexibility. These are not weaknesses, but strengths." Elena nodded, accepting the apology with grace. "Fear of the unknown is natural, Zarkath. What matters is how we choose to face that fear." As Zarkath left, Chen turned to Elena, his eyes wide. "I never thought I'd see the day when the leader of the True Path Collective would apologize to a human." Elena laughed softly. "It's been a week of surprises, Aiden. Something tells me there are many more to come." The next day, as the final accords were signed, Elena found herself once again standing before the Council. But this time, it wasn't as a petitioner or even as a crisis negotiator. This time, she stood as an equal. Ambassador Zixelian stepped forward, their iridescent skin shimmering with barely contained excitement. "Captain Elena Rodriguez, on behalf of the Intergalactic Council, it is my honor to extend formal membership to Earth and the human species." A cheer went up from the assembled dignitaries. Elena felt a swell of pride, not just for herself or for humanity, but for what this moment represented, a new chapter in galactic history. As the formalities concluded, Elena was approached by Councillor Vexalia. "Captain, there is one more matter to discuss. The Council is forming a new task force, aimed at implementing the cultural exchange program and smoothing the integration of new species into the galactic community. We would like you to lead it." Elena's eyes widened in surprise. "Me? But surely there are more experienced." Vexalia's crystalline form chimed with what Elena had come to recognize as laughter. "My dear Captain, who could be more qualified? You've shown a unique ability to bridge gaps between cultures, to find common ground where others see only differences. You represent the best of what humanity has to offer the galaxy." As Elena considered the offer, she felt a tap on her shoulder. She turned to see Nova's hologram, a rare smile on the eye's face. "Congratulations, Captain," Nova said. It seems the crew of the Frontier will have to get used to a new commanding officer. Elena felt a pang of sadness at the thought of leaving her ship and crew. But as she looked around the council chamber, at the diverse array of beings all working together towards a common goal, she knew that this was where she was meant to be. "I accept," she said to Vexalia, her voice firm with conviction. As news of Earth's ascension to the Council and the formation of the new Cultural Exchange Task Force spread across the galaxy, reactions were mixed. Many celebrated this new era of cooperation and understanding. Others, particularly on Earth, expressed concern about losing their cultural identity in the vast melting pot of galactic civilization. Elena found herself addressing these concerns in a global broadcast from the Council headquarters. "My fellow humans," she began, her image transmitted to billions of screens across Earth. "Today marks the beginning of a new chapter in our history. We stand on the threshold of a grand adventure, one that will take us further than we ever dreamed possible." She paused, letting her words sink in. "I know many of you are afraid. The galaxy is vast, filled with wonders and dangers beyond our imagination. But I've seen what's out there, and I can tell you this: we are ready." Images began to play behind her, scenes from her adventures, showing humans working alongside aliens, solving problems, facing challenges. "Our greatest strength has always been our adaptability, our creativity, our unquenchable spirit of exploration. These are the qualities that will not only help us thrive among the stars, but will enrich the galactic community as a whole." She smiled, her expression warm and reassuring. "We're not losing our identity by joining this cosmic fraternity. We're expanding it. Every new species we encounter, every new world we explore, they don't diminish us. They add to who we are." As her speech concluded, Elena felt a sense of profound optimism. The path ahead would not be easy. There would be challenges, setbacks, perhaps even conflicts. But for the first time in galactic history, there was a framework in place to face these challenges together. In the months and years that followed, Elena's Cultural Exchange Task Force became the driving force behind a galactic renaissance. Knowledge and ideas flowed freely between species. Technological advancements accelerated as different approaches combined in novel ways. And slowly but surely old prejudices and fears began to fade. The Crixians, once isolated and fearful, became leaders in the field of biotechnology, their innovations revolutionizing medicine across the galaxy. The True Path Collective, their ideology evolved, took on the role of mentoring newly spacefaring races, helping them navigate the complexities of galactic society. And humanity, the newcomers who had changed everything, continued to surprise and inspire. Human art, music, and literature spread across the stars, touching hearts and minds of beings wholly alien to Earth. Human adaptability and ingenuity helped solve problems that had puzzled other species for centuries. As for Elena Rodriguez, she found herself at the forefront of this new age of exploration and cooperation. The young captain who had once marveled at her first alien encounter now stood as one of the most respected figures in the galaxy, a bridge between worlds, a symbol of what was possible when different cultures came together in harmony. Years later, on the anniversary of Earth's ascension to the Council, Elena stood once again on the observation deck where she had shared that quiet moment with Dr. Chen so long ago. The view had changed, the starfield now dotted with the lights of countless ships, space stations, and thriving colonies. As she gazed out at the cosmos, Elena felt a presence beside her. It was Nova, the AI that had been with her from the beginning. "Quite a view, isn't it?" Nova said, its holographic form shimmering slightly. Elena nodded, a contented smile on her face. "It never gets old." "You've come a long way from that first mission, Captain," Nova observed. "The galaxy has changed so much, thanks to you." Elena shook her head modestly. "Not just me, Nova. All of us. Humans, aliens, AIs. We did this together." As they stood in companionable silence, watching the ebb and flow of galactic traffic, Alina reflected on the journey that had brought them here. From that first, tense encounter with the Council, through battles and negotiations, triumphs and setbacks, to this moment of unprecedented peace and cooperation. The future stretched out before them, vast and full of possibility. New challenges would arise, new frontiers would beckon. But Alina knew that whatever came next, they would face it as they had faced everything else. Together, with open minds, brave hearts, and an unshakable belief in the power of unity in diversity. As a new ship, sleek, powerful, and built with technology from a dozen different worlds, prepared for its maiden voyage of exploration, Alina felt a familiar thrill of excitement. The adventure, it seemed, was far from over. It was only just beginning.